you have a picture of him somewhere? Are we just profiling the person?
Are we just kidnapping him? It's like, oh, you look Mexican? I'm Mexican too, what's up? How do you guys know I'm born here? This is insane.
At the end of spring in Los Angeles, what we saw is steeped up immigration enforcement, unlike we had ever seen in the city or in the county prior. And there was a number of very aggressive tactics that took a lot of people, including immigration and civil rights lawyers, by surprise.
One of the main tactics we were seeing a lot coming up were roving patrols. Those have been done historically along the border, involves agents who are in a car or on foot. They're trying to deter illegal activity is what they say. But really what we have found is that it involves driving around here in LA specifically, like predominantly Latino neighborhoods, looking for people that they're spotting on site. One of the cases we saw specifically was them pulling into a tow yard in Montebello, cut across the street, pull into this tow yard and immediately start asking questions. And that is a case that we have seen repeatedly coming up again and again. And a lot of these roving patrols then turn into another tactic, which is known as a consensual encounter.
Look how you got my hand, you're twisting that shit, I'm American, bro. Yo, these guys are literally...
And a lot of attorneys question whether these consensual encounters are actually consensual. What we saw in the case of the tow yard with Brian Gavidia, he was a US citizen, and there was others there who got asked their names.
For skin color. My homie was born here just because of the way he looks.
Lawyers say that when people are approached, they ask, are you American? Where were you born? But there's also come with guns, they come masked, and oftentimes the question is, are these people really free to leave as they're supposed to be able to?
Consensual encounter is done in such a way where it's so conversational, almost it's like, hey, can I ask you a question? And it's just agents approaching people, and sometimes people not knowing how to respond or what to do, especially if you have the pressure of a bunch of agents who are armed surrounding you. People are answering, no, I'm not here legally, or no, I'm not an American. And then that really is what we've seen that triggers the arrest.
And that leads rise to another tactic that we've seen a lot. It says, if they run, we will chase.
Agents are using people running away from them as reasonable suspicion to then stop them. And even American citizens have run from agents. People who have legal status to be here have run. Almost it's instinctual for some people because, as a federal judge said here in LA, if armed, masked men who are unidentified are running at you, it makes sense that people would then run away from them. There's surveillance footage we saw of a roving patrol that was happening in Pico Rivera, and there was a custodial worker, he was pushing a trash can in the parking lot. Border Patrol truck comes barreling toward him because to them, they were like, okay, he's running from us, that must mean he's in the country illegally. We were hearing cases where agents were like laughing at people who had run and been like, oh, we never would have got them if they had never run.
And part and parcel to these roving patrols, part and parcel to these consensual encounters are where they're stopping individuals. They often stop them at Home Depots or at car washes. There's been at least 58 car washes in the Los Angeles and Orange County that have been hit, some of them multiple times. And often they use these locations because they presume the individuals there aren't going to be documented individuals. A federal judge in Los Angeles found that is one of 3 other factors that cannot be used to determine reasonable suspicion to detain a person.
One big thing I would note is what we saw repeatedly in a lot of these videos that have gone viral. A lot of them do involve Border Patrol agents who don't historically work in the interior. They are more used to working on the border. They were in and out. 2 minutes, they go, they immediately make a beeline to the certain workers. We were finding in some cases, especially people who were brown-skinned, felt specifically targeted. It's a consensual encounter that comes off of a roving patrol. They say, what's your legal status? Are you a citizen? Where were you born? And then, they'll arrest people within a 2-minute span and clear out.